ain't looking for no handouts, I say no. Always stack high, stay low. Tryna level up, better get with us. Gotta keep it real, cause you know it's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable. It's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable.
Yo, what's up? This is Ctez. You're here with 2/3 of Real and Uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. I'm here with my guy, Eman.
Yes, sir. We in the building.
We got the wonderful Mr. G-Lo behind the scenes. He might chime in from now on again.
Working overtime extremely hard. My guy is on it.
I think, yeah, exactly. He came in, everything prepared. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you.
For sure, man.
But you notice we missing somebody very important. That is Miss L. She'll be back with us soon. Don't worry. She's probably causing trouble somewhere.
Oh, boy.
Harassing somebody somewhere.
This how y'all play. I don't know how to, you know what I mean? Y'all go back
Look, man. It's all fun and games until the New York
so
come out of her.
Exactly. She's from the Bronx. We don't want to. We gonna leave it alone. L, do your thing. She's gonna be back soon. We gonna make it happen. But one of the topics that kind of has been crossing my I wouldn't say my desk, but that's been coming across a whole lot of time is in terms of artists. Does an artist's work ethic dictate their success?
Okay, see, I'm biased. As an artist, I feel a little attacked, but let me hear me out here.
In what sense, though?
Hear me out here, because it's not by your question, but by the idea that kind of gets thrown out there. It's like there's a big gap between the artists that we see who are out there, getting it, and what it took to get that, right?
Okay.
And what they have behind them, who they have behind them, or what tools they use to get there versus the average everyday person, right? And I know people may say artists have a lofty idea that we're just one rap verse away, one video away. And, for the most part, it could be.
You are.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain that. How many videos do you see a day?
Are we talking Instagram?
Anywhere.
Hundreds, thousands. I don't even think I could count.
How many do you listen to with intent and analysis?
Not many.
It's a lot of static, brother. There's a lot of static, a lot of white noise.
It's a lot of
And then that's beyond the videos that people use other ways to get your attention, right?
Yeah, but I feel like right now you're giving us fluff.
In today's day and age, being a rapper without the machine means being the machine, right?
That's fair.
Now, I'm not going to say it's not possible. I would never say that. I would never pursue being a rapper if it wasn't possible. Now, I think that in most art forms or crafts, careers, whatever, your skill set matters, right? Your authenticity matters, but how good you are at what you do matters. In rap in 2022, that doesn't matter.
I think in any art form, that doesn't matter. In anything that is, you could be the best video guy in town. If you don't know how to get out there and find the work, you're going to be the best video guy in the basement.
That's true. But being a terrible video guy would mean that you would be exposed right away. Being a rapper that's not the best by any different standard, because there's many different standards now, means you can still skate by because the fan base is not determining on your skill set.
Not necessarily. And the reason why I say that is if you look at with that Kanye West documentary. Who was the guy that shot it? Pootie? I forgot his name.
Oh.
Whatever his name is. His camera work was not the best. He had no skills. He had
No. That was content though. That was content and connection.
Yeah.
But he's not trying to be a video guy necessarily. That wasn't his goal. His goal was just to document Kanye's journey, right? That's a little bit different than a rapper saying, my job is to present music, good music at that. Like now, I don't even think that that's many people's goals. It's just, I want to be famous.
I agree with you, but I also feel like artists need to realize that being an artist is also being an entertainer. A lot of artists don't know how to entertain.
So
just because you know how to make music doesn't mean that you know how to entertain a crowd.
That's very true.
Doesn't mean that you know how to entertain a group of people. And that's where a lot of people flop.
So are we talking about that Ice Spice video? We could cue it up like right here if you want to.
My body, I do it with ease. My body is in the jeans. I'm gonna buy some stuff in my rings. He checking me, but he not my boo. He like the jewelry, I wear my boots.
All of her songs and videos are, look, for what it's worth, especially compared to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it's catchy. It's enjoyable.
Okay.
I'm thinking stage presence because you said entertaining.
Yeah.
And I know she caught a lot of flack because people said that she should have had some more artist development.
100,000%.
Now, I'm not gonna, disagree with you in that regard. But I will say that still doesn't take away from the fact that, like, it's not about the content of the music anymore. It's not about how good the music is anymore. Tell me, what do you think makes a good song?
I think there's a lot of factors to consider. Now, from an engineer's perspective, of course, the sound quality, the content of the lyrics, the story. I think what sticks to the wall is the story behind the artist.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think 2022 people want to know you more than they want to know your song.
100%. I tell artists all the time, figure out what your story is. A lot of times artists are scared because they're like, oh, I don't sell drugs, I don't shoot guns.
Yo.
You don't have to do that. There's a college kid out there who needs a certain type of music to talk about the things that he's facing.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So figure out what you bring to the table and be genuine about it.
Okay. So say we get past all of that, right?
Yeah.
Now you presented a question. You gotta be heard, you gotta be seen.
Yeah.
And I've been told by people that artists don't work hard enough to do that.
Yeah.
They don't take the right opportunities. And to an extent, there are those artists who are like, I'm not doing a show unless I see some dollar signs, I see some pay. And I think that's unreasonable at a certain point. Hey, speak on it, man. Speak on it.
No, if you're an up-and-coming artist and you don't have a fan base and you don't have anything outside of the music to offer, you should not be charging to perform. You should be performing every chance that you get. One, because it's going to help you build your craft. It's going to help you practice stage presence.
Get those reps in.
Yeah.
Get those reps in.
You know what I mean?
True.
Shoot in the gym a little bit. But two, you don't have anything. You got to have more value than just the music. That's what people fail to realize. Okay. You got to have more value than just the music.
Yeah, but see, I think that then crosses the line into influencer now, right?
Okay.
Like influencers are now the way to go, even if you look at it monetarily. Okay. Influencers make far more money than rappers do right now.
100%.
And especially if we're not even talking the rappers who get a good 10 to 30 G's for an appearance or something like that. We're talking like people who are barely heard, barely any streams. I can sooner get a sponsorship off of being an influencer, and even I can become a million follower TikToker. But you know what? My music still may not see that translation. So what exactly is the magic bullet?
I think you just gotta learn to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Learn to. You really have to. Like, you gotta learn to adapt to how, I don't want to say the market, but how things are evolving.
That's a scary thing, man. Look,
it is.
Markets are weird though, because
they are. They're not stable. You might be comfortable with one thing 1 minute, and it might switch the next day. But the key is to stay consistent, to adapt, regardless of what's going on. I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna put in the reps.
So you're saying that it's just a matter of continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result?
No, I'm saying you should not be in Times Square selling CDs anymore, because I still see that. You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't even make cars with CD players anymore.
No. Don't get me wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
We've upped the game now. Now it's like the cards with the QR code.
Which,
you get the little tap thing.
That's not even like normalized. Like that's a few people are doing that. I haven't seen not one artist with that. Well, you see it on social media. You have one?
Yeah.
You might be you're the first one. Well, even though people know it's out there, but there's still, you go to Times Square right now, there's a guy selling CDs or trying to get you to buy his CD.
I get that.
I understand the hustle, but bro, you got to adapt to the changes of.
All right. Now, I think this boils down to knowledge. Most of the time, that's what I think it does.
Okay,
because
I agree.
Somebody said that a lot of artists act like they want to be independent, but then they move like they need a manager. They say they want to be independent. Like, you don't want to be signed. There's a big stigma about being signed. You know, you might get shelved, this, that, and the third.
Like that's people talking without even having the information.
Well, again, you got to have the knowledge, right? So you're going to say things that don't necessarily make sense until you know.
Right.
And I don't know. I was always I had the idea that it may suit certain people, right? At the end of the day, being signed is a loan, right? I don't think that you work any less hard even once you get there, though.
You work harder.
Yeah, but I don't know. To say that artists aren't working hard enough and that's why they're not being seen, I think is ignoring the fact that social media is it's like ADHD personified. Literally, like the most successful things are 15-second videos, and then it's related to unrelated metrics as far as your success goes.
Yeah.
Views of what? 'Cause I can say I have a ton of views, but if the view is like a boomerang of me going, like, what did I have to do with my music?
Now, but that's the thing. That's where you got to learn to maximize. And I say this, like, one of my tricks early on around 2015, 2016 was adding music to video content. So I would add the music that I would have to video content that maybe I didn't create, but that made sense with the songs.
No, absolutely. Okay. That's
And
creative.
Off of that, I could tell you I probably got over 500,000 streams on Spotify.
Okay.
Off of content that I didn't necessarily create, but made sense when just add the song at the bottom.
So then people share it. and
People
everything
literally,
else.
and I wasn't trying to sell the music. I'm literally, you're enjoying the content.
Right.
Oh, what song is that? And that was a common thing. Like people would be like, "Yo, what song is that? What song is that? What song is that?" I call that guerrilla marketing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just getting the music in front of you. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not telling you to take it. Just it's there.
Yeah.
If you gravitate towards it, cool. If you don't, you don't. I didn't have videos that had 1 million views. Maybe 10,000 people listen to the song.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll take that 10,000.
All right. Look, I can't argue with that either. That's a good point. And I do think there's different ways. Like from merch sales. I know you've been big on Lil Russell right now, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, big ups to him. He's been an artist that has manifested himself into a brand.
Oh, he's cracked the matrix.
Like, and he's definitely turned it into something. Now, here's my problem though, is that one success story is reason for hope.
Okay.
But one success story is not like,
The masses.
yeah, one success story is still one success story. And even those who are successful will tell you all the things that still had to go right that was outside of their power to make it go right. And mind you guys, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from being an artist. Keep at it. Work hard. I will. But I'm just saying that it feels a little bit like
Frustrating that.
yeah, like that with
You're-
as much work as you put in, people will look at you and say, well, he don't have no results, so he not working hard. It's like, whoa,
But
hold on.
let me give
Hold
you
on.
let me give you a visual representation, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say if you're in front of steps.
Yeah.
Right? You can walk up one step, walk down another. Walk up. You're moving. But you're not
You're
going
not
up.
going up.
And a lot of artists are doing that, or they're running in circles,
Look.
but they're not walking towards the destination.
Look, maybe this message wasn't for myself. Maybe this message wasn't for other people who are
Right.
doing multiple revenue streams and stuff like that. Because I do know that there's artists who you have to stay on to write, stay on to get in the studio. And for whatever reason, there are obstacles that prevent them from even doing that much, right? Sharing their stuff. I saw, what is it, the audio that was Tyler, the Creator, I saw. And he's like, why aren't you sharing
why are you
your
not
stuff?
posting?
Why are you
People post their
yeah.
stuff one time
Yeah.
and expect it to blow up and go viral. No. This is your page.
Yeah.
If the people on your page don't rock with your content, then they're not for you.
That's true.
But
That's
a lot of times people are so focused on I want to gain followers versus let me cater to the followers that respond to what I post. But also you got to be creative in what you post. It can't just be, a picture of your song and the music playing in the background and that's it.
That's true.
No. People want to be entertained on Instagram. Figure out. I remember I was on a conference call. It was like those conference calls with like one person speaking in the whole
Everybody's
almost like a
listening.
clubhouse
panel.
before
Yeah.
Clubhouse. Right?
Right.
Boom. And it was with it was a guy that worked with DJ Clue or whatever the case may be. And he said something super powerful. He was like, it takes money to make it in this industry.
Yeah.
But if you don't have money, you have to be extremely creative. And a lot of people, you might be talented music-wise, but you're not really creative. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand that.
So if you're able to be creative, at the end of the day, you have the internet at your fingertips. You literally have that www
And you can look up
in
certain
front
things.
of It
Yeah.
stands for World
You don't have
Wide
to
Web.
you don't have to
can
reinvent
reach the kid
wheel.
in India
Yeah.
at the same time as you're reaching the kid in Japan. At the same time, like you have the reach.
Yeah.
Yes, you could get people locally, but you can also reach people internationally. People don't use that.
That's true. That's
Or
true.
I don't know if they're scared to do it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's fear, but you could reach people around the world.
I will tell you what it is. For a lot of people, it may be some essence of work ethic. I can see that. However, I think a lot of it is knowledge, right? Because just like you said, you can walk up one stair and walk down two.
Right.
Walk up one stair.
Right.
So when I coached basketball, there would be people who said that they wanted to, like, the kids would come into camp. They'd be like, oh, my goal is to make varsity. Awesome. Good goal. And like, okay, cool. So what are you doing every day to help you get to varsity? I don't know, nothing. And then the following question is, well, why not? I don't know what to do. So if you can tell people what to do, that's one thing. But coaching basketball and doing this music stuff is not the same, because coaching basketball is not, you don't make the same money off of that in coaching. You do it for the love of the game and to progress it. Whereas people who are in positions to give knowledge do so to get money, because that's now their revenue stream, right?
Some people.
Some people. But
A lot of people.
right.
But
Even when you talk about Instagram, right? You said the World Wide Web, social media. That's where the people are, right? If you were passing out something, you go to where the people are. Even that, you can get shadow banned, and to the point where you may need to put money into your, your post, boost your post, in order to reach audiences.
Yeah.
Right. And that's from behind the scenes. That's no longer just a thing about certain opinions and stuff. It is about that. It's about certain opinions and content.
Yeah.
But to be perfectly honest, as much as you see OnlyFans girls promoting their stuff, are we really banning off of the content, or are we banning because we know somebody's trying to sell certain things? So now you're trying to get that off of them too.
That's a tricky question.
Look, man, we went through this whole Forex revolution. So, sorry, shout out to the Forex people. I still am owed a couple yacht rides. You know? Yeah, I'm owed a couple yacht rides. They said they had yachts. They said they had mansions.
That was the whole scam, no?
I'm trying to, right. So all I know is that every time somebody approached me about it, it was regarding a class that I needed to purchase.
$250
right.
to take a little class, and then you can start making money.
Right.
But that scam's been around. I mean, like, they have those whole pyramid schemes where you sign up people that sign up people that sign. Like, that's been around. So I don't even look at that. I'm talking about just a straight day to day. Are you waking up in the morning and coming up with a plan as to what you're going to do? No. A lot of artists just wing it. They come to the studio once every 3 months and just wing it, which is cool. One thing that I tell people straight up, and some people get upset. Are you doing it as a career? Or are you doing it as a hobby? Figure that out.
Look, man, even if
There's nothing wrong with doing it as a hobby, but don't do it as a hobby and get upset when you don't get career results.
Okay, fair.
That's all I'm saying.
But even with that said, right? If you're doing it as a career, one thing that people have at their careers is they have mentors, right?
Okay.
There's some sort of knowledge or like trail of knowledge that you can go on to become good at this thing.
Yeah.
You want to be a dentist, you go to dental school. You want to be a doctor, you go to medical school. Lawyer, law school.
Yeah.
For music, it's such a predatory pool that, like,
I agree.
you can't like, because then even if you trust somebody to give you the knowledge and they have the background, there's no guarantee, because one, the knowledge they may be giving you may be back from when they were successful, and it might not be applicable to what you're doing
like
now.
That applies to anything that you do. If you choose to become an astronaut today, whatever you do, you're gonna face that. It's just a matter of you using your own judgment, you learning from experience.
It's different though, bro. That's
It
different.
is.
That's different, because even as an astronaut, right, the things that you would have to do to get the qualification to be an astronaut lead
Maybe
you
that's
to
a bad choice because you could go to school to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm talking about something that you do that is related to art, to where it's not. There's no guarantee.
Right.
You're gonna have to, whether you want to be a painter, whether
Yeah.
you want to be, you're gonna face that same challenge.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of artists have this. It's a dream that I'm gonna go in the studio, make a song, and I'm gonna blow up. Yes, that's a you know what I mean? It's a short way of looking at it, but that's not the reality. I like to keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It is doable, but you're gonna have to work hard.
No, absolutely.
Are you ready to work hard?
It's not.
That's
It's not
on you.
easy at all. But then I think, you know, you do have to set yourself apart. I think that's difficult. Is an upfront thing for most people because of what we find as getting the most results. If you look at what's popular today,
Yeah.
do you think that that's, somehow impacting just a normal everyday artist? Like, look who's blowing up.
But yeah,
I mean,
if you're doing it for the right reasons, you're not necessarily gonna be moved by what's happening. You're gonna listen and tap in, but you're gonna do your own thing. If you look at the most successful artists, they stayed focused on their crowd. J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, like they stayed focused on their crowd. They didn't really Drake. When Drake came out, it wasn't popular to be a singing rapper. People clowned him and disrespected him. But he stayed like, yo, this is my lane.
But the
I'm
music,
not a shooter. This is my lane. I'm going for the ladies.
okay.
That's what I'm doing. And he stayed persistent and broke through the mold. So a lot of times that's what it is. Like artists want, they look at, okay, this is popular. Let me jump here. This is popular. Let me jump here.
I think that's what you kind of almost imply, like by saying that you kind of gotta look at the market and what the market gives you. If you're adjusting to the market, look at most of the rappers now and what type of music they make. We're in New York.
Give me one name.
Okay. Well, look at our guy Pop Smoke.
Okay.
Pop Smoke, amazing artist.
Yeah.
His sound, however, helped to influence and change a lot. And it almost killed a lot of sounds. Not killed as in nobody listens to them, but we know what's getting play. We know what people like. It even morphed into like the UK drill scene. It was
inspired. Like, inspired by the UK.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I see that because now I see New York rappers adopting almost a direct derivative of the UK scene.
Okay.
Pop Smoke kind of made it his own.
Yeah.
Right. So, drill music, the content, so there. You're not doing that. What are you doing? You can make other music, and people will listen to some of it, but who gets the limelight?
Which people? Because I think people are so focused on trying to get everybody that they don't focus on who the actual target audience is.
I don't think it's just that. I think that when you're looking at where people are telling you to get fans, you gotta look at what they're listening to.
You gotta fluff that out. I had an artist in here who was like a lyrical rapper.
Yeah.
And he came to me and he was like, I want to make a strip club record.
Yeah.
And knowing him, it's not you. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to make the record and then what? You don't go to strip clubs. That's not you. You know what I'm saying? But you're just doing it because you feel like that's where it's the easiest place to get music played or whatever the case may be. Focus on what you got going on. If you make music for college kids, go to college events. Go to they have shows at colleges. You know what I'm saying? Network at college parties and all of that. That's what a lot of people are focused on. So focused on getting the bigger crowd that they don't even cater to the 5-10 people that are in front of them who can genuinely push their music. They neglect those people.
How do I say this? You don't want to neglect those people. However, you have to act towards the numbers. Acting towards the numbers is not going to get you there, bro. 5 to 10 people is not going to do it. 5 to 10 people, that's great. They'll support you. That's awesome. You can make music for them too. But in order to get the exposure that you want, you have to make sure that you're tapping into people who are going to share, people who are going to reach out to more people. And that 5 to 10 people, if that 5 to 10 people have stayed with you, but it's only remained them.
Nah, but you got to find the 5-10 people that really rock with you that's going to push your product as if it's theirs.
Okay, all right.
And off of that, it's going to spread.
All right. So say you're making a lyrical rap.
Yeah.
5 to 10 people fuck with you.
Yeah.
Now you want people, but it's not them, right? You've been making that, it's not changing. Wouldn't the next logical thing to do be to make different music?
No. No, and I think that's where a lot of people fail because they're trying to please so many people that it doesn't come off as real. It doesn't come. It people can see when you're trying to hop on a bandwagon. They can feel it. Versus when you're being real and authentic, it resonates with people. That's why I tell people figure out what your story is and really go after that.
All right. So would you say that artists are lazy?
Some artists are lazy. Some artists, I think, is like you said, like they lack the information, but they're not really willing to go and get the information or to be real with themselves. There's a lot of artists who've been doing this for 5 years who are actually still at ground zero.
I think that if you want to do anything, you got to invest in it. I think
100%.
money can also be a barrier. Between again, finding the stuff that you're looking for, all of that can be obstacles.
In what way?
Okay, so performances.
Okay.
Finding places or venues to perform. I don't know if you know, but there's people you get charged to perform. And that's okay, but outside of the performance itself, it's not like these venues are necessarily providing you with people there. Or if they are, they're people who don't really want to see you. You're kind of in the way. It's not like they did promotion for the show.
I'm gonna keep it a band.
Beyond that.
I'm gonna keep it a band that's in New York. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I was just at a showcase with
Right.
DJ Drewski
Okay.
in Jersey.
Yeah.
The love in the building was incredible. I'm talking about like the people in the crowd who came with this person are rocking with whoever's doing a great job on stage. I saw people on this side who moved to this side to rock with this side. Like, I feel like it's in New York that these showcases are dying because rappers are going to see rappers and not supporting each other.
But that's another thing. Like, that's a problem, right? That all right, I know that you try to put it on the artist to promote. But most times the artist is looking to go to these shows and be a part of these shows to get in front of a crowd. Like, think about it like this. If I was supposed to go to your venue to perform, no, hear me out here.
It's backwards.
No, it's not. Because think about it. If I had the crowd already, why do I need your venue?
That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Bring your crowd to the venue. See who's actually willing to pay to come see you perform. Build with those people.
Nah, because
I'm telling you.
Bro.
Because off of that, you can literally, if you get yourself on video performing in front of a certain crowd, right? You could take that to another venue and say, hey, I could bring 25 people in here. What can we do? Work with me. You know what I'm saying? You have something to leverage because now I'm bringing people to your venue. We could figure out, can I get half the bar? Can I get half at the door? You could figure out leverage. There's music business. You got to understand the business side.
No. I get that part. But again, if I already have take your guy Russell, right?
Yeah.
He's performed. I heard he performs at his crib, out his crib,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to pay overhead for that outside of his living expense, right?
Smart move,
right?
Smart move,
right?
Like that's the whole point of it. Is like I got my crowd. I'm gonna keep my crowd with me,
right? So then that said, if he has that and the ability. If regular artists have that and the ability to just pack out their front yard, why would you pay another venue to go? Right.
But you can leverage
the
fact that I got 30, 40 people that could come to your venue and pack it out. Let's work something.
No. I get that. The leverage point is good when you get to a point where you're now trying to get them to pay you. But I'm saying on the strength of you still paying the venue.
Yeah.
What are you paying them for?
You could be paying them for the space.
Sure you want to perform in an empty room?
No. That's the whole thing. I think
because if you're still
in the artist's mind, the artist feels like I'm paying you to bring me a crowd. That's not.
But
that's a lie.
No.
That's not how it works.
But yes, but
that's
that's what I'm
works.
saying. Is that if that's what's the most important thing for the artist?
The crowd that you have to build as an artist.
But if the crowd is the most important part to me, then why wouldn't I just go get the crowd, leave you out?
You can.
No. I get that, but I'm saying that.
Do it.
but
That's the whole like. Do that's the key. Do it.
Nah, I
Do
hear.
it.
Okay, I get that. But I'm just pointing out to you that is not the norm. What's the norm, right? You said that you talked about that performance, that showcase that was full of love, full of support, actually gave artists exposure, right? My problem is not necessarily that the venue doesn't give you the crowd. It's that the venue almost packages itself as if it gives you the crowd. It's almost fraudulent to an extent, right? Like, because at the same time, if I'm going to perform and you tell me that there's going to be people there to perform for, but the people there to perform for are the other 30 people that paid to perform, I didn't pay to see other people perform, and I'm sure they have the same mindset. I'm telling you, like, this is the difficulty of an artist. You're right. You guys are both right. If you're an artist, listen, go find your crowd.
That's it.
Go find somewhere to perform.
That's the key.
Go do that. Attract those people. Whatever you got to do, perform for them. Hopefully they show you love.
That's the
and
key.
You continue to build upon that. But that's not reality for a lot of people yet. You're going to do it. But you get what I'm saying?
Them?
What's stopping them is probably the idea that the other way is how it's done. Right? Like I know you got to break the mold, you got to be original, you got to be creative. But I think the predatory means of the music business is that people present you with things.
I think it's the ego. I think artists, some artists are scared to perform in front of 5 people. They're scared to perform. Russell even said it. Sometimes he performs in front of nobody.
That's okay.
The camera's there, he's performing, and boom, turns it into content that makes it appealing to where, all right, now 5 people gonna come. 10 people gonna come.
Look.
Got you.
I'm not gonna say that there's not people who are affected by that.
Yeah.
But I think that even when you go to those showcases,
yeah,
you may end up with that anyway.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm sure that people have stories. Feel free to leave your showcase horror story in the comment. Like, people have been last on stage, and by that time,
left already.
Nobody's there.
I've seen it happen,
right,
firsthand.
So what do? You still go up there. Yeah. You still paid the bread to be there.
Yeah.
You should still perform.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you have somebody to catch it. You know, shout out to G-Lo, shout out my man Woe, to the shooters who are actually there to get the content and help you turn it into something more.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times too, these venues don't even offer you that, right?
They don't.
Like, they showed you a room that you thought would be full of people. The people who it was full of were your competition because, you know, who else is coming? It's not like the venue itself did any true promotion. They left it up to the people who were coming anyway. Yeah. But again, you guys said it. You broke them all. I get it. I understand. If you're responsible for bringing the crowd, why didn't you just bring the crowd yourself?
That's it.
But that's not what you're expecting. Because if it is that simple,
that expectation is what's messing a lot of people up. Like, I promise you, there's certain venues that they'll tell you, all right, cool, we won't charge you. Mm-hmm. We'll give you tickets to sell. And artists panic. Like, what do I do?
Absolutely.
How do I sell tickets? Absolutely. But these are the things you got to figure out.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Figure out who wants to come see you and really, like.
But can we admit that it's not like it's easy out
here? It's not
and
easy.
It's not like people, like, you can still do this stuff and be putting in work, thinking you're putting in work, and you're just doing like your Stairmaster thing. Yep. Like, thinking that you're making steps. Yo, I just went to this showcase. Oh, well, who did you perform for? Some guy, you know, he said he worked for mm-hmm. Or, you know, such and such is man. No, not the one that was on the record. No, the other guy. Mm-hmm. You just perform for a bunch of people
I think another reason why
the idea is that you put money in to get stuff out of it.
Yeah, but that's not how it works. Sometimes you put money and you don't get anything back.
Nah, most times you put money in and you get nothing back.
Yeah, but you got to make the most of a situation. You go to a showcase, there's nobody in there really, whatever. Network. See if you can get a couple people to follow you on social media. Make the best of every situation.
No,
really,
that's
you know what
cool.
I mean?
That's a silver lining. But silver linings don't make up for the hundreds of dollars that you're putting in all the time. Like, that networking could have been done without that.
So do it without like
You
that-
would.
that-
I'm not.
that- that-
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
but don't say like. I mean, okay. It's not like people aren't doing it.
I
The
feel like a lot of
idea.
people are not doing it.
they
A lot
might
of people
not
stick
be.
to their circles, especially in New York. A lot of people stick to their circles
Uh-huh.
and don't expand. Like, when was the last time you drove to New Jersey and network with artists?
That's fair.
It's across the bridge.
That's
It's not that far.
Yeah, but
When was the last time you went to Connecticut and networked with some artists?
I get you. But you still try to make it that the music moves that are put in front of you that are supposed to be stepping stones should serve as a stepping stone that they're supposed to be. If like I'm not saying that they're gonna be definites, but there's a lot of like snake oil involved in the music shit.
Sure.
There's a lot.
For sure.
And then that becomes draining because even to produce a passable project, you already have to put in money, right? Say you're coming out with a 5-song EP.
Mhm.
On average, how much do you think it costs for studio time, beats, if you're gonna do any visuals because you need
So when it comes to studio time, right, and this is something that bothers me, I've heard artists be like, yo, I can't afford you. You're the GOAT, but I can't afford you.
Mm.
Literally, we do referrals. You refer somebody, you get a free hour.
Hold on. Put the Jordan face over
get what I'm
E-Man
saying?
right now. It's like I took it personally.
No, I didn't take it personally. For me, it's more so like you can get free studio time if you put in the work. I'm not gonna mention the artist, but he worked on his whole project by doing referrals. He was in the club talking about, yo, come to my studio in White Plains, boom, 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 boom.
Mm.
He got a cool 10 hours worked on the project. So the whole thing of I don't have money, no, you're not putting in the work. You
That's
can have
creative.
free studio time. All you got to do is promote the studio. Every time somebody comes in, you get a free hour locked in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We had a
Yo.
thing where we was doing, so there's ways to do it. You just got to put in the work.
Well, you heard it then. Go shout out, Diesel Music Studio, Union Music Studio.
You know what? 2023, I'm going to
Check
talk to
the
my
sleeve.
partner. We're going to come up with some cards.
Mm-hmm.
You get the card, you put your name on there, you pass it out.
It's not a bad idea.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I think that might solidify, but there's ways to do it. There's ways to do it.
Look.
And I think sometimes I feel like the hustle and the hunger is not there because people expect things to be handed out, or they feel like because I gave you $100, I deserve the world. No, that's not how it works.
No. I'm not even saying that. That's a creative way to get around spending.
Yeah.
That is good. Cool. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it is still an expense, right? Not specifically
The studio.
the studio, but the
Shooting a video,
process.
shooting
The
a video.
process is expensive. Like, yeah, you can. Don't get me wrong. I've seen Lil Dicky save that money where dude like he spent almost no money and made a bomb ass video.
Right.
That's dope. But to do that every single time,
Creativity. That's what. Remember the thing I said earlier?
because man, you would.
If you don't have the money, you got to be creative. That's the bottom line.
that shit is easier said than done. E.
No,
Don't
no,
get
it's,
me.
no, it's hard.
It's like,
but the reward that comes from it is incredible.
look, I'm saying this is looking like an Eiffel Tower, like upside down, made of Jenga blocks that you got to kind of piece together and hope that it's the right way. You can get creative and hopefully make it a little bit more stable. But even when you get to like the top of where you're trying to be,
Yeah.
there's still no guarantee. That track, whatever you put together, that you had to be creative to make, you now have to be creative to push.
Yes.
Then you have to be creative to do all of these things.
Yes.
With all of that said, I think that it's wrong to call somebody lazy over that. It's not, because
I wouldn't use the word lazy. Lazy is a little harsh, but there's a lot of factors to consider. I feel like we go on for hours. My thing is, that's one part of it, but a crucial part that a lot of people finding the right team. That's
Okay.
also, you can't do it by yourself. You can only do so much by yourself.
right.
As an artist, you need to also find the right team.
Yeah.
Be humble enough to say, I need you guys. Like, yo, let's come together, and you do this, I do that. Let's come together and make it happen.
Right.
Sometimes the right team means you got to pay somebody on the side to be on your team. Cool.
Nah, that's good too. Invest in the right people.
Yeah.
But again, I think that, I don't know.
Can we just be honest that a lot of artists lack the work ethic?
Okay. I don't think they lack the work
Not
ethic.
all.
I think that they don't understand
What it
how
actually
much
takes.
what it takes.
Okay.
I think that, and not even just in the sense of work, because that type of stuff, I don't even think people would consider necessarily work. Maybe they're traveling out to network, that's work.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of this now is finding creative ways to navigate this weird market that we're in, right? It's not necessarily about your content anymore. I mean, your music anymore.
Yeah.
It's about your content.
Yeah.
So you're forced to be a different brand almost, right? Like, I can be a dope rapper. I can make a great track.
Mhm.
But what's really going to make people stick and gravitate to me is being able to present entertainment.
Mhm.
And not entertainment just of me being on stage that has to do with my music.
Mhm.
Entertainment like a voiceover on TikTok, you know? Entertainment like a skit. Entertainment like
But if you could connect it back to the music, that's how you win.
it's okay in the sense of getting some streams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that that's because, again, you have people who have literally blown up, influencers who have blown up off of a song. It's not translating to the rest of the music.
I agree.
So,
But those are not the people that you want to follow as an artist. There's always been that one person that pops up, that leaves, that one hit wonder. They're gonna be there.
mhm.
The reason why people fail is because they're chasing that, and that's not a sustainable lane.
Nah, because then if you're trying to chase the Jay-Z's, the Drakes, if you're trying to chase the people with longevity,
Mhm.
then none of what we just said works.
What do you mean?
It doesn't. That's not what they did. They had maybe not the most straightforward path to music, but they did stuff that was a lot more direct than what we're doing.
In terms of
Okay, like you said that it's a lost art form to hand out CDs in your trunk.
okay,
It's a lost art form to really hand out much of anything to people. A lot of this is digital.
yeah, you gotta adapt to that.
I don't know. Like, this traffic and the static is not the same.
I'm gonna keep it.
The
I'm
distraction
gonna
is
keep
not
it a
the
bit. Like
same.
even
You
when I,
can
when,
do it.
when,
I'm
when
not
I was
saying-
making music, let's say I was in college, right?
Mhm.
So over 10 years ago, right?
Right?
CDs was dying out already then.
Yeah.
That's when Twitter was popping. I had a template. Excuse me. I had a template message that I would literally copy and paste into people's DMs for them to check out my music. But it wasn't like a, hey, check out my music. I would go on their page, check out their tweets, see something that makes sense. You get what I'm saying in terms of my music, and approach them with that. A personalized message. That's the same as handing out CDs. Why? Because I would start conversations with actual people who would then follow me.
You know what we call that now?
What?
Spam.
No. I've seen spam. Spam is nasty. I would actually engage in conversations. Or I might even start with a conversation, not talking about music, but throw it in there in a smooth way, in a non. I just, for me, I remember I was going after a lot of women in a sense, based on their tweets. Yeah, based on their tweets, I would start a conversation.
Mhm.
Based off of that.
So you were sliding in the DMs like
Sliding
you was
in the
trying
DMs.
to, like, you know.
When Twitter was
Hey,
popping,
hey,
I was
what's up, shorty?
sliding
You know what I
DMs
mean?
before
Like,
sliding
what's
DMs
good?
was a thing.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So
All right.
approaching people, not just on something like, yo, check out my music.
Mm-hmm.
Start a conversation.
Look, I hear you.
But
These are all methods to try. These are all methods
All
to
methods
try.
to try.
I guess what I'm saying is all of this is easier said than done. I think when we then talk about consistency, we ignore the fact that there's other things that get involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be consistent oftentimes means investments, either investments in money or investments in time,
Yeah.
right? And if you are a regular person, you don't just have like a lofty living or lofty bank account, you're probably working a 9 to 5 that's 8 hours of your day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? From there, you have your personal life. I don't mean personal life like you're out in the club. I mean personal life like your own responsibilities. Maybe you have a child. Maybe you have just like regular upkeep things that you have to do around your crib.
Mm-hmm.
From there, like, you know, you can talk about the money, but you got bills or whatever. We're in New York. Rent is sky
It's crazy.
high.
It's crazy. It's
Right?
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Houses cost whatever, so your mortgage is right on your head top.
But that I feel like that applies to everybody. Like I feel like I hear you. Those reasons are valid.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for an excuse, you're gonna find one.
No. And I'm not saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like those are anybody living in New York. If you're trying to chase your dream, it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna be stressful.
For it. What I'm saying is that I don't think that it's a lack of people putting in the work, because at a certain point you gotta live, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean live like, again, going to the club or anything.
No, just
I
regular
mean just
paying
peace
bills.
of mind. You gotta exist, right?
Yeah.
Beyond, like, you don't just go from one source of stress to the next source of stress.
I agree.
Yeah. So, and for what it's worth, sometimes music is the escape for people.
That's what I tell people.
Yeah.
Career versus hobby. It's okay for music to be a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Just be real with yourself. If it's a hobby, cool. Come to the studio once every 3 months, and whenever I had somebody who came to the studio, booked a session just to write a song. He didn't even record. I told him, I'm like, yo, you could have written at home and recorded it. He was like, nah, I need to get away from baby moms at home.
Mm-hmm.
This is a safe space. You know what I mean? I needed this. Cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Some people might be like, yo, he booked a session to write.
That's
Wasted.
I'm not gonna say that's the best use of your time, your money.
But for him, it is. For him,
Yeah.
it's a, you know what I mean? Judgment-free zone. He's comfortable.
Yeah.
Let me get away and just, he could have went golfing. He chose to book a studio session. But he's real with himself. He's not coming here like, I'm about to make the next. No, for him, it's therapy. It's therapeutic.
I want to make sure that people are walking the line and not giving into like super hustle culture.
For sure.
I need you to wake up at 5 a.m., go buy some stocks, trade those stocks, go buy this, start a pit bull farm, go there, don't trade these for that, go do this
But
next.
that's
like,
not even what I'm saying.
No,
I just want people to be real with themselves, because a lot of people are not real with themselves. A lot of people.
Hold on. So are you saying it like, I'm put words in your mouth here.
No.
Are you telling people they don't want it?
A lot of people don't really want it. A lot of people say that they want it, but the actions don't match. Like, I feel like I outwork a lot of people who should be working 10 times harder than me. You get what I'm saying?
Don't let E-Man outwork you.
I mean, it's gonna be hard. You want the seat, it's gonna be hard.
I got you.
But it's like you want the seat, but you're not willing to sweat. You're not willing to get down and really, you know what I'm saying, sacrifice.
So what shows that you're doing the work?
Consistency. And I tell people it doesn't even have to be in the studio all the time. Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I look at G-Lo. G-Lo's consistent.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, my man put in the work. Was it always easy? No. I still remember when he was riding in that hoopty.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Like, you know what I mean? He could have gave up. He could have said, nah, this is not it. No, you got to be consistent. You got to put in the work. It's not always going to be sunshine and flowers. No. Sometimes it's going to be ugly. But if you're really passionate about it, if you really want it, you're going to go get it. Whether it's raining, snowing, sunny. Because a lot of times people find excuses when it's convenient.
I respect that.
You know
I
what I'm
respect
saying?
that. I think that it's tough to gauge a lot of the effort that people put in, because what are the results, right? You say consistency.
Yeah.
What's the measure of that consistency? Because you can say it, but if you're not with them every day, like, mind you, right? Putting in work every day doesn't mean doing exactly the same thing every day, right?
Right.
And not even at the same amounts every day. It doesn't mean that, you shared your music to 50, 60 to 100 people every day. It doesn't mean that you went to the studio for 3 hours here and there and you did all of that. It doesn't mean that. I'd imagine that consistency means that you just did something, right?
Towards
something towards your goal.
Yeah.
Problematically, it's just the issue of when you're telling somebody that they're not doing it, they're not working. What's to show that they're not? What shows that they are? What are those metrics? Because like, if they haven't made it, like, that's really the only solid goal, right? Is like, well, are they there yet?
That's a tricky question. I don't know. That's a tricky question.
Look, I know what you mean.
I just feel like, as an artist, if you're really working, and if you're just working to act like you're working. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people act like they're working versus actually putting in the work.
Fair. That's true. So put in the work.
Put in the work.
If you
Stay
got
consistent.
Okay.
be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself. That's the biggest thing. Honesty. Yeah, maybe you feel like you've been doing it for 10 years, but maybe you wasn't doing it the right way. It's okay to say, all right, let me
Revamp.
revamp. Let me really be honest with myself.
Reevaluate things. Yep.
And start from scratch.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Never be afraid to reinvent yourself, to reinvent your approach. Mind you, look, I just took all this side to say, like, make up and put out all the excuses and stuff. Look, man, get out there, be creative. If you took anything from this, take what E was saying, learn from who you can learn from, take those creative steps to set yourself apart from the crowd. Make sure you stay consistent. Hell, take approaches from other professional careers and work them into yourself, right? One thing I said is other careers have mentors or teachers. Try to find somebody. I know everybody's on the independent wave, and that's great. But I'm maybe not a manager, but find somebody who you can tap in with to kind of at least help you talk through ideas. Team. Get a team. Don't bear the weight by yourself. Yeah, keep at it.
That's another episode of Real and Uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little different style, but, hope y'all enjoy it.
Nah, this got uncomfortable for me. I damn near talked myself out of being an artist.
We'll see y'all on the next one. And that's another episode of Real and Uncomfortable. You can find me on Instagram at Mixed by Eman Music.
And Ctez Music.
Yes, sir.
With a C, not a... He got
Yes,
the K
sir.
going,
We at Diesel Music Studio. G-Lo behind the camera.
Yeah.
It's going to be something special.
And if you're looking for that studio time and that workaround, go promote that. Take advantage of that referral.
We out.
Tryna level up, better get with us. Gotta keep it real, cause it's about to get real uncomfortable. Yeah, real and uncomfortable.